All right, so we're gonna be building a chicken brooder. Right now we've got our little baby chicks that are just a couple of days old in a tub inside the house, but when they get bigger we're gonna need something a little bit bigger and better for them. So we're using some scrap plywood and some 2x4s, and we've got some wire mesh that we're gonna use to try to make a brooder nest that will stand up off the ground. Nah.
Where's your sander?
So we're starting by making our base about 6 foot long and 2 foot wide. We're going to rim that around with some 2x4s to make an area to attach the plywood for the walls. So we'll go around the edge of the plywood with these 2x4s and just kind of frame it in. Mark us a mark.
72.
Right there where it says 6 feet, right above where it says 72 inches. That little long line right in front of my finger.
This one?
Yep, that one. Good job, okay.
All right, go back in the Ranger.
Okay. Not yet.
So that's right.
So we'll frame it all in like this. Now we're going to come in with some 2-inch screws and screw that all together.
Do you need me to hold it?
Give me that drill over there.
I want to use
Nope.
the
Let me have it.
screwdriver.
So we're pre-drilling our holes so we don't split anything.
Wow.
Cinch it down, okay? Okay.
Is this the top or the bottom of it?
We got our 2 sidewalls attached. Now we need a piece about 20 1/4 inches to go between it. So we just use 2 8-foot 2x4s to enclose this. Okay, we have our boards cut to fit. Lucy helped measure. Let's see, they fit in there. All right, good deal. So now we're going to drill some pilot holes through both ends and cinch this all together.
Why can't we use a screwdriver on the
You want to try to screw one in by hand, Lucy? Here, I'll get you started and then you can work on it, okay? Here.
Okay.
Ready? Okay, come screw it in.
Which way?
It's a race, okay, ready?
Which way do I turn it though?
Well, righty-tighty. Ready?
Which
One.
way's the right?
You know right. On your mark, get set, go. Are you done?
No.
Have you turned it yet?
Yes.
Turn it hard, use your muscles. Double or nothing, okay, ready? Your mark, get set, go.
Here.
Screw it in, Lucy. You gotta make the sound, it helps it go. Burp, burp, burp.
I can't.
All right, you want me to do it? All right. Okay, I'll get you started and then you can finish it, all right?
I want to put this on it. I want to put it up.
Okay, you want to finish that one? Here. Do this. You pull the trigger. Ready?
No, you can look. It's okay.
Okay, pull the trigger. Okay, good. Pull. All right, you got it.
Good job.
Good deal. So we had this spare piece of smaller plywood, and we're going to cut it at an angle down this line and use those for both halves. That way we'll have a sloped roof on one side, a taller wall on the back, and a shorter wall in the front. Going to use this C-clamp to cut it down so we're safe while we're stripping the board. A little dusty?
A little bit.
All right. Got our two side walls. Let's see if they're similar.
Pretty
Oh.
good.
I think it looks good to me.
What
Okay.
you think, Luce?
Yeah, my baby chicks.
Your baby chicks. What are we building, Lucy?
A chicken coop.
All right. Okay, you got it, babe? Hold it
No.
just like that. Okay, back towards you just a hair. Right there. Up. Okay, all right. So,
I want to do it with
let me help her get it. No, let me do this part. Remember, I said you can help me screw it in. Okay, let me get it started. Okay, I'm gonna reach in there and pull the trigger. Oh, okay.
Careful.
If it comes off, you let go of the trigger. Okay. One more. Good. Okay. All right. All right.
Now this is gonna be the hardwood floss, right? Right
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
This is not looking how we wanted it.
Yes, it is.
No, not all the way because it's not painted red.
It's not done yet. Okay, so we got a couple of sides done. Now we got the next part.
The back
But
on the side.
All right, we found this spare piece of, I guess it'd be considered 2x2 up in the rafters of the barn. We're going to use it to kind of frame the inside of both of these walls. Okay, ready? Okay. So we're just going to use little drywall screws to attach this piece of 2x2 frame to the plywood.
were you talking to the camera?
Yep, here I'm still rolling. Now we're going to do our best to cut an angle all the way down this 2x4, which will form the back brace across the top. Clamp that on that side. Okay, here we go. This is dangerous usually. That angle worked out pretty darn close to what we wanted, so we'll go ahead and screw this in on both sides here, and that will make the back of the brooder.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and get the screws started, that way we don't have to hold the board in place for long.
Mommy, what does this look like to you?
Okay, couple started on this side. Okay, I want you, or yeah, it'll work. You want to come hold it?
Why can't I
Just hold
hold
it.
it?
I mean, you'll probably have to hold it
I
kind of right in
want
the
to
middle.
hold it with.
Okay, we'll come over. You and your mom can both hold it. Got it?
Hold on.
This side. Okay.
I can hold the roly-poly.
It's a little boat in.
Probably warped.
Roly-polies love to roll up.
Yeah. Okay, good. All right, so now we have the basic frame of the brood house. I got to dig through my stack of plywood and see if I can find a piece to go across the top. Then we'll start working on the lid, and then the front half we're just going to do hardware mesh or hardware cloth across. But I think it's turning out pretty good so far. We've really only been working on it for probably 2 hours now, or most of the way done. I think we're just going to use these sawhorses for legs right now until we can get some big 4x4 posts and maybe put some wheels on the bottom of it. All right, so we just used the drill to drill us a pilot hole kind of here to toenail this back brace in. Can you help me? All right, ready? Good job, squeeze the trigger. Okay, good, thank you. Can I have the other one? So this is some plastic roofing material that I had left over from when we put a new roof on the well house. And I think we're gonna use it to be the back side of the brooder. And we'll just come in behind it with some caulking to fill in the little gaps that will be behind it. I think it'll work good. These are some leftover screws with rubber gaskets and washers on them that we had from when we were doing the well house. So I feel like we've used like 4 different size screws on this, but didn't have to buy anything new. Yeah, right there's good. Okay, you're good? Yep. Oh, oh. Now short little bursts until you get it. Good.
We can't pit 3. That's gonna be. We need one right here. We need some right here.
Okay, I got Lucy. We're gonna close you in there.
Watch out, Lucy.
All right. Looks like we kind of went crooked.
We're gonna paint everything red today, right?
No, probably not today.
Why? When is gonna ice cream?
All right. Got our back put on. Now we're gonna put wire mesh on the front and then work on the door. What do you think, Lucy? Here, back up.
Yeah.
What do you think? You think your chickens are gonna like this?
Yeah.
All right, good deal.
We need to take the sticker off.
All right, so the brooder is coming along really well. Pretty happy with it so far. When we went to the store, we bought 4 2x4s that were 8 foot long and some hardware mesh or hardware cloth. And honestly, I had enough 2x4s laying around that we could have built this frame without needing to buy any 2x4s. Like I said, that roofing material was left over. These 1x4s and this plywood was this stuff we had laying around. So I probably could have got by building this entire coop with only needing to buy this. And if we had used regular chicken wire, I had some of that laying around too. One of the advantages to using this hardware cloth is that it's a little bit stronger and a little bit smaller squares. Like this happens to be 1/4 inch mesh openings. So that's gonna keep little snakes or other things out of this pen. When I was a kid, I was raising some black australorps that I showed, and I had some young pullets in here in the barn in a cage with chicken wire, and I came home one day and there was a snake that had gotten in and had already swallowed one of them. And so this is gonna protect them from all kinds of critters. So next, we're gonna cut this to size and come across the front. That will let the girls be able to come up and be able to see inside and see the little baby chickens as they're growing. So I've got my wire laid out here. Gonna come through some wire clippers and cut about 100 of these little tiny wires across. Maybe 10 snips will work a little faster. Oh yeah. Anna's gonna do a little bit of sanding to kind of wear off some of the rough edges before Lucy puts some paint on it. So we got all the inside and outside of the brooder box painted. It's looking good. We're gonna give it a chance to dry a little bit, and then we're gonna come across the front with our wire mesh. We're just gonna hold it in place and use a staple gun to staple it down along the path. So give it a try. Okay.
But it's a staple gun.
Okay.
Hey.
This one's all right.
I am Van Gogh.
Van Gogh. Van Gogh over here has painting our boards that are going to be kind of the frame that the door will sit on. Okay, so for our door, we're going to be using some 1x4s, and from some scrap pieces of plywood I cut some disc corners to to be able to screw them all together. So we put all 4 like this. Yep, you can do it. Use our little drywall screws. And hopefully that will hold it all together, and then we'll have our mesh on it. We can cut off one long one, so let's just get one live on the correct edge over here.
What about you guys and then stuff?
We have all the pieces for the door painted on both sides, and we're letting that dry, and then we're gonna cover it with mesh and assemble that, and then attach the hinges.
So we made the whole door, and now we're gonna attach it to the chicken coop.
All right. What did we just see a minute ago?
Catfish.
Cool. I think the door looks pretty good. We'll see how it works when we get the hinges and the latch on.
I see a bumblebee. Right there's a bumblebee.
Bumblebee?
Right there.
Okay, just leave it alone, all right?
Okay.
So for hinges, I'm using some old kitchen cabinet hinges that I took off of our old cabinets when we remodeled. I just saved them in a bucket, and it looks like they might work for this. Got a piece of hardware from the old cabinets on the front too. We've got our feeder and our water in there just to kind of show you how it would work. But pretty happy with it. Got to get a couple of latches, maybe one on each side to help keep it locked. But for one afternoon using mostly spare parts, pretty happy with it.
Now it's going.
All right, so pretty happy with our brooder. The little chicks are going to be able to stay in the tub at least for a few weeks before we move them into here. I think eventually we'll come and add some legs on this, but right now the sawhorses work fine. Bear, you chewed on my arm. So thanks for watching, guys. Lucy, you got anything you want to say?
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Well, no, you got to tell them subscribe to our channel and find us on
Subscribe to
Facebook.
our channel. See you on the next video.